Hi there and welcome. It's Nick Watson here, and boy, do I have a hot topic for you today. It is the topic of weight creep. Those little extra pounds that just seem to sneak in, and there you are in your 40s or your 50s, and all of a sudden there's this kind of bulge around the middle, bulge around the bum. You don't know where it came from, but you don't like it. So there's a whole massive industry out there, the diet and wellness industry, that want to give you a whole bunch of fixes and foods that are going to help solve the problem. But we all know that that doesn't really work. And I'm guessing that you're here to watch this video to maybe have a little bit of a different perspective. So my background is in yoga and Ayurveda, and I love to do detective work. I love to try and figure things out through the lens of those. So the first thing to think about is historically, like, why is this happening? Why is 50% of America expected to be obese by 2030? So let's rewind time, back in time to the 1950s. And that is the moment when people started watching TV, they started having convenience foods, and the more like office jobs began. It was post-World War. Interestingly enough, there is a correlation between the rise of inflation, which has risen since the 50s, with weight and also with inflammation. From an energy point of view, inflammation in the body is, for me, I see it as like all the cells are pretty pissed, like they're angry. They're angry that you or your body is not the body that it is supposed to be. And I don't mean, when I say supposed to be, I don't mean the classic size 8 figure. I want to just throw that out of the window. Ayurveda does not see bodies in this one size fits all way. You have a particular constitution, it's to do with the elements, it's to do with the doshas. That's another video. But we have been creeping up in our weight in general, and it's been linked with higher sugar, convenience food, less time outdoors, more times on our bum, and more time in front of TV, which means more marketing coming in and fiddling with the brain. Why do we want to lose weight? Okay, so we're here. Let's say we're here. We're got here now. Why do we even want to lose weight? What is it within us that gives us that inflammation, that anger? What is it that creates the frustration? What is it that has people pouring millions of dollars hand over fist to solve this problem of the extra 10 pounds? Okay, so here's where the yoga and Ayurveda come in. We in the West tend to think of our bodies as just our body. There's one body. We're living in it. It's happening. Yoga, Ayurveda, sees the body as having 5 layers. Yes, you're not one body. You are 5 bodies, all at the same time. It's all you. The most dense body, or let's call it a layer, imagine yourself like in layers. The most dense body is called the Annamaya Kosha. Now, right from the get-go, the clues are all in the Sanskrit. So Anna means food, your food body. Your body is made up from the foods that you actually eat. It's not transported into some cosmic egg that creates it. It's the banana you put in the mouth. It's the pizza you had at 10 p.m. It's those things. Your mouth connects to this body. So Annamaya Kosha is your first body. Your second body, because just a body without any breath wouldn't be working, is the Pranamaya Kosha, your breath. The third body is your thinking body, not so much intuition, but your thoughts and how much you actually know, right? It's the vault of information that you have. And then this is where I want to talk about the fourth body. So the fourth body, things start to get interesting for me, and they start to connect with this food body. The Vijnanamaya Kosha is a intelligence, wisdom. It means wisdom body. It's your natural intelligence, and it belongs to you. Just like your physical body belongs to you, it's not a collective, it doesn't belong to everyone. Vijnanamaya Kosha is your body's own intelligence of what your balanced body should be. And I don't just mean like balanced weight, I mean balanced chemistry, and it will, of course, because a food body does weigh, it does take up space, right? It does have a weight. We put that so much focus on that on the scales. But we know that when you have weight creep, it's not about the scales, right? It's feeling heavy is not about a number on the scales. It's about a feeling. So this Vijnanamaya is speaking to the Annamaya Kosha, right? The wisdom body is speaking to the food body, and the conversation when you have weight creep is something's up, something's up, something's up. You're not connecting. You're not connecting to the wisdom. And that then leads to a feeling of friction. A feeling of friction translated into cellular intelligence equals inflammation. So where do we not listen? Where do we not listen to this wisdom body? Well, the first thing is that the wisdom body reminds the physical body that it needs to be like everything. It has a rhythm. There's a fullness and an emptiness, a spring and an autumn, a summer and a winter, a moon and a sun, right? There's fill up, empty, fill up, empty. The body's digestive system takes about 4 hours to digest something and empty. So if you are eating and then leaving 4 hours, there's an emptying. You can eat something else, there's an emptying. But most of us, or many of us, are not following that rhythm. And when we start to snack, there's no feeling of the empty happening. When we're eating first thing in the morning, before we've even emptied our bowels, it's like putting more trash in a garbage can. When the body hasn't been emptied, it just doesn't know what to do with stuff and just stores it. That gets stored at adipose tissue. So the first problem is snacking, this disconnection between wisdom body and the physical body. The second is the wisdom body also knows that movement helps the body to release. So we are sitting in our desks maybe for 5, 6, 7, 8 hours a day, not moving, very difficult for the body to get rid of, to get to that empty place. The Vijnanamaya Kosha loves emptiness or clarity, like lightness. It loves simplicity. It loves recognizing the thing that is going into the physical body. Convenience food. So convenience food is convenient because it's been packed with chemicals to allow it to stay convenient. The body, the wisdom body, does not understand what, E numbers are, what certain oils are, what additives are. And again, it just puts it in the dumping ground of the body, which translates as weight creep. Then we're now in this cycle where now we've got the weight creep, and then there's the marketing and just all the blah blah and comments and judgments and blah blah blah. Now we're going into the mental body and starting to worry about the weight creep. So even more disconnect, because the worry creates a hormone called cortisol. Cortisol is a signal, primitive signal that, or it's not a signal, it's a hormone, but it is signaling when the body feels it, it's like, oh, something's wrong. When the body experiences something is up, it starts to store fat in case of emergencies. So snacking, sedentary lifestyle, convenience food, worrying. And then the last thing, again, where the body actually burns out and empties out, is in the sleep cycle. So a huge part of metabolism is happening when you are doing nothing, not working out at the gym, burning 1,000,000 calories an hour, but when you're asleep. And it's not just to do with how long you're sleeping, which is now in everyday literature around, like, you got to eat 6 to 8 hours. It's also the moment, catching the right time to sleep at. And that's something I could talk about in my course. I teach people around the dosha clock and how to get the alignment of what's being signaled by Vijnana Maya Kosha with the actual physical body, like how to align your sleep cycles. So that for me is why we end up with a feeling of kind of sadness around weight creep, right? There's a feeling of letting yourself down. A lot of my clients, it's coming as a feeling of being puffy, like disconnected, low vibration, feeling creepy, right? Weight creep makes you feel creepy. The good news is it can be reversed. But in the same way that weight creep doesn't just, arrive overnight, it came in on a long rhythm, and it will need to go out on a fairly longer rhythm completely. But when I say that, it makes people feel like they're going to have to be at the CrossFit and eating, lettuce leaves for, 6 years. It's not. It's about small habits daily. And even if you're not immediately losing the weight, what starts to happen is you start to build the trust back from this wisdom body, that you are starting to respect this wisdom body, this intuitive body. So people shy away from this work because they often want a quick fix. They want just something that works at the surface level. They maybe lose the 10 pounds, but it comes back again. I can honestly testify to the fact that living an Ayurvedic lifestyle with 10 daily habits is preventing, or not even preventing, because that sounds like I'm trying to push something away, is an easeful way to not even have the issue of weight creep, even in my mind, right? Because I know that I am tuning in to my Vijnana Maya Kosha. And that, when I tune into that helps to regulate my physical body. And that helps to regulate inflammation. So that is why Ayurveda and Dinacharya is well known as an anti-inflammatory program and a program that promotes longevity and preventative health. When you have inflammation in the body, you are accelerating aging, you are messing around with the organs, things start to not work. It's like having the lights on in your dashboard. If you're listening to this and you have some questions, it's a lot to take in, especially if it's the first time you've ever heard about the koshas, the layers of the body, then please feel free to write in the comments. I do go into more depth in my courses around this, and it's obviously, this is YouTube, I'm just putting a video out there to try and give you a little snippet. In the courses where I work with people, we have more chance to discuss this and talk about it. But it does mean one thing, that I really hear people when they come to me and they say, well, what I hear when they say, I want to lose weight, is I hear the disconnect between their natural wisdom, intelligence with their physical body. And that makes me want to step in and support them. And I do that through teaching them about food, about sleep, about meditation, about breath work, and about how to balance and realign all of those bodies so that you have a wonderful experience as a human. Thanks for listening, and if you're interested in finding out a little bit more about my course, then you can go to beautifulalchemy.com. I'm not going to be leading another course until the fall, but if you want to check out some of my other videos, read a little bit about what the course is, then you got plenty of time. So thanks for listening. As always, Hari Om. Namaste.